Hi there guys, I'm Tom Voyage. This is an Ooni Karu 16 and this video we're going to tell you our top 5 tips. So the Ooni Karu 16 is Ooni's top of the range multi-fuel pizza oven. It's one of my favourite ovens from Ooni to cook on, and in this video we're going to go into our top 5 tips when using it. Now before we get started on this video, if you'd like to buy one of these ovens for yourself, please use the link in the description. It doesn't cost you any more money to use the links, but it helps me out with some commission so I can carry on making videos like this in the future. Right, let's get started on our top 5 tips. So tip number 1 is to cook using a mixture of charcoal and wood. Now this is a multi-fuel pizza oven, which means you can cook on wood, on charcoal or on gas, but I find it's easiest, especially if you're a beginner, to cook using a mixture of wood and charcoal. How I like to set up, as you can see here, is have a nice bed of charcoal, a few chunks of wood on top and some of these natural fire lighters. Having a charcoal base helps you keep a really consistent temperature, whilst the wood on top gives you a nice flame to roll over the pizza. It's important to use a good quality lumpwood charcoal. It's also really important to use a sustainable hardwood that's really dry. I use pieces like this that are cut into about 7 inches long and about 1 or 2 inches wide. So tip number 2 is to always use an infrared thermometer. The Karu 16 comes with a thermometer on it already, but this only measures the ambient temperature, not the stone temperature. Therefore, before you cook your pizza, you want to make sure your stone is nice and hot, about 400 degrees centigrade or about 750 degrees Fahrenheit. I like this infrared thermometer from ERICKHILL. It's really small, it's compact and it's very easy to use. If you want more information on that, you can check it out in the link in the description below. So tip number 3 is to never overfill your fuel basket. I know having the big fuel basket on the Karu 16 is very tempting to chuck loads of charcoal in there and pile loads of wood on top. But what's going to happen is that's going to stifle the fire, you're going to get loads of smoke and not much heat, and it's going to fog up the glass on the front of your Karu 16. A much better way is to add the fuel little and often. You can use the hatch at the back to add chunks of wood like this to keep the flame going. So tip number 4 is all about starting the oven. Once you've got your wood and your charcoal set up, I use a gas-powered blowtorch like this one to get the flame lit. Once the initial fire's burning, I leave the front door open and make sure all of these vents are open too. That's going to allow you plenty of airflow and get the fire good and hot. After about 5 minutes, close the door, but leave the vents open and wait for your oven to come up to temperature. Another thing to consider is the wind direction. You really don't want the wind blowing into the front of the oven. It's much better to have the back facing the wind, so it pushes the air through, over the top of the pizza and up out the chimney. So tip number 5 is to be brave and try new things. This oven is a really versatile oven, capable of cooking more than just pizza. Experiment by cooking different foods in your oven and learn to manage the temperature by controlling the dampers. There's 3 ways you can change the temperature in your Karu 16. First of all is by the amount of fuel you use. Second is these dampers on the front here. And then third is on the dampers on the chimney. By having the dampers closed, it's going to restrict airflow and give you a cooler temperature. Opening them up fully is going to give you lots of airflow and give you a hot temperature. So thanks for watching this video on our top 5 tips on the Ooni Karu 16. If you've got some tips of your own you'd like to share, mention them in the comments section below. If you did enjoy this video, please remember to give me a like and subscribe, and please join us next time for more pizza making videos. But wait, before we leave, we've got one more tip to show you. Maybe you already know about this, maybe you don't. On your fuel hatch door, there's a little hook and a slot here, giving you a handy place to store the door when you're tending to your fire. We've got one more tip as well. Your Karu 16 will come with one of these little hex keys. There's a handy little slot under the oven to store this hex key. So that's it from me for my top tips for the Ooni Karu 16. Join us next time for more pizza making videos. See you later.